subjects. Subjects sounds like a school to me, not like any other satsang or puja sthan,
Right.
etc. So when I spoke about subjects like dharana and knowledge and churning and bringing it in your life, all that, etc. You said, and yoga.
Meditation, yes.
So it sounds like a school.
It is. It is like a school, and over here there's a lot of emphasis and understanding that it's a daily work, study work, homework, and then again the next day checking work. So it's really like student life, and the beautiful part of it is student life always. Doesn't matter which age we are at, and doesn't matter for how many years we've been studying it. It's student life always. And so at the Brahma Kumaris there are no teachers. Each one is a student. Even the administrative head today, Dadi Janki, she is, I think, 95 or 96 years old. She sits every morning to study what we are learning from the Supreme Father. So one teacher, the Supreme Teacher, and everyone's a student. No follower.
So
Students.
he is the guru, he is the teacher, he is the father, he is the friend, he is the mother, everything under one roof.
Absolutely. And we're all his children and his students, studying every day, applying it, and then working on it. And there's a beautiful system as to how we could integrate this into the whole day. Always begin the day with meditation. You know, because when the mind is absolutely silent, because meditation means we're creating a new way of thinking. Normal, ordinary thinking is of a particular type, but then we are consciously creating a different way of thinking. So the easiest way to do it is early in the morning, when that ordinary thinking hasn't really begun at a very good speed. So first thing in the morning, early morning, and before we do anything else. So it's like just you wake up, freshen up, and you're sitting there. Important, choose a different place, and it's nice to have one place in the house. One place and one time. The mind and the brain and the body starts cooperating. These are very simple things.
And also there's a discipline.
Discipline, absolutely. Because if it's like, I'll do meditation whenever I have time. You know, a lot of us will say, whenever I have time, I'll meditate. It doesn't really seem to fit on the priority list. And very often, when we need it the most, we're not doing it. You know, on days when there are challenges, there's a lot of work, there is targets to meet, and difficult situations sometimes, we feel we don't have time to meditate. But actually, those are the days when we have to do it. We just can't skip it on that day. So discipline, yes, because it will be there on our timetable, but also a place. It's good to get up from the bedroom and go somewhere else, because the place where we sleep always has vibrations of sleep. So the mind and the body tends to fall off to sleep in that vibration, because meditation and sleep both bring the mind to a very calm and relaxed state. So sometimes the brain is not able to differentiate between the two. So if the mind slows down and becomes very calm and we're not alert, big chances of falling off to sleep. And a lot of people fall off to sleep while meditating. So it's good to get up from that room.
And laziness can creep and you feel lazy too.
Absolutely. And sometimes we won't even be aware that we were sleeping, and then we can get up after 15-20 minutes and just say it was a very peaceful experience. But actually we were sleeping, which is fine, but it was fine for sleeping. But we didn't do what we were meant to do, and which was charging ourselves and creating a new way of thinking. So early morning hours meditation, and then immediately after that the study. Because now we've silenced the mind, planted new seeds in the subconscious, and it's like the blotting paper is absolutely ready to absorb completely whatever we put in now. Whatever will go in now will just go deep inside. It's like, you know, like we would prepare the land to sow the seeds. So then daily study immediately after that. That's about it. First 45 minutes to hour of the day. Remaining 23 hours, business, work, family. But then those are the hours to apply what was done in the morning. So then conscious attention, checking, awareness, what's going on inside, a minute pause after every hour or 2 hours, everything okay, no blockage, no conflict, smooth flowing traffic of thoughts. And in the evening, just before going to sleep, it's very important to review how the day's been. Very important, because I have to see whether I was applying it the right way and whether I was getting the results of the application of the knowledge.
Also the incidents, what happened and how I reacted,
Important.
or I could react better next time.
Perfect. Respond better next time. Yes. So, like a lot of people write diaries, but what will happen when we write diaries is we write about the situation. You know, so and so thing happened.
Like writing a story.
Yeah.
Of
And-
some other person.
Yeah, and mostly the story is to do with other people, situations.
He did this to me, he
Yeah.
said that to me. And
Yeah. And how we felt at that time. So let's say in the morning, if you shouted at me and I felt hurt, then I'm going to feel hurt in the night again while writing it,
yeah.
because I create the whole story all over again, and along with the story I also create the emotion all over again. So actually I got hurt twice, once in the morning and once in the night while reviewing it. So another way of writing the diary is write it all over again, keep the story very short, actually really short, just one line of what happened, and focus on the way we responded. And if the way we did it was not very right, so instead of that, let's write down what could have been another way of responding. This is then preparation for the next day. It's not just regret and reviewing.
Not only preparation, improvement.
You prepared, because the next day again situations will come. But now, instead of being hurt in the morning and in the night, in the morning I got hurt, but in the night I'm consciously seeing myself remain stable in that response. So my mind, the screen of my mind, is visualizing what could have been a better response. So I am putting in something else which will pop out on the screen tomorrow when a similar situation arises.
Does not that this kind of a reviewing lead to guilt sometimes? I wish I hadn't done that. I wish I hadn't spoken to my son like this. I wish I hadn't spoken to my boss like this, or my daughter like this. I'm so and so. I'm such a bad person. When will I improve? How can I improve? Why am I in this pain?
Yeah.
Why am I not getting out of this?
That's what we saw earlier. We're not going to think about what we don't have to do or what we shouldn't have done, but we're going to think about what we have to do. You know, the very clear communication to the mind. I don't have to get angry. I shouldn't have got angry. Instead of that, I can do it this way.
So I made a mistake.
It's over. You don't need to give more than 10 seconds to that. It's a waste of time and energy.
So people will ask you, how will I learn with my past mistakes if I do not
It's
think
just
over
that,
it?
let's say there's something in my hand right now and I dropped it here.
It's broken.
It's broken. Okay, now it's broken. So something happened this morning, a conflict, whatever. It's broken. It's over. It's past. Now one is sit in the night and, oh, I dropped it. How did I drop it? Shouldn't have I held it better? How come that I am not able to do
clumsy.
it? Yeah.
I don't know what's happening to me these days.
Yeah.
I keep dropping things. My nerves have gone weak. I should go to a doctor. Then it can, for this kind of a writing and also reviewing the whole day, supposing somebody goes in this direction, then what do you do?
Then what we're doing is just making ourselves weaker. Because in the morning I dropped it means I was weak. When I made a mistake, it was a weakness. And by doing this, inflicting anger or guilt onto myself, I'm just making myself weaker. And the other option is, I dropped it this morning, but the next time I'm going to be holding it really nice. Full stop. And visualize myself holding it well. That's it.
So
I'm preparing for the next situation.
So morning meditation and evening review,
Yes.
and that makes a good habit.
Review is very useful. Without review, sometimes we could be for years meditating and studying knowledge and not really knowing where we are heading. Because we're not checking ourselves. It's like, why do you need to check the work that children do in school? Because unless you check, you don't know where they're heading. And if you don't know where they're heading, you wouldn't know which direction
That's
to
what
take them.
class tests are.
Exactly.
Test from the class teacher says, okay,
Yes.
so after 15 days I'll take a test for this subject. Let us see what have you learned.
Right. So now our tests are not in the night. Our tests are during the day.
Mm-hmm.
We study in the morning.
Answer sheet
Yeah, answer sheet is in
and
the
the
night.
marks
Yeah.
are in the night.
Yeah, most important. And when we see our mark sheet, it's only, okay, fine, today I didn't do very well, but tomorrow, another day, another way of thinking, and another way of responding.
Isn't this also a kind of taking yourself into a comfort zone? Okay, I've done it. Tomorrow I'll improve. Or isn't this can also lead to laziness? This can also be saying, okay, postponing things.
Yeah, because like you said, two options. One is create guilt, and the other option is also carelessness.
And postpone it.
Postponing, because one is like, oh, why did I do it? How did I do it? And the other one could be, okay, it's okay, it happened. I'm working on myself. It will happen in some time. That's carelessness. So both of these could make us into a comfort zone where we would not come out from. But the other option is proactive response. I did it and I'm changing this tomorrow.